We're back. Hello, everybody. It's the Wildflowers. I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
And where's Peggy?
I'm coming. Peggy is coming. Woohoo. Here I am.
Thanks
Hello.
for joining us. We are number
96.
We look good for 96.
Yeah, really. Yeah, if you watched our last one, in the beginning was a little different, but we're back on track right now. And so tonight we're going to have the wine tasting, a book discussion, and a topic. And I have a word.
Okay.
I have two words. I wonder which one I want to share. Well, we all know that quail is a verb.
Yeah.
But did you know it's a verb as well?
To quail at something? Yeah, I've
Is it
heard
spelled
of
the
it.
same
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
And what do you...
2 L's, I think it has.
No.
No, one L.
Yeah.
Q-U-A-I-L.
It's like quailing, doesn't it mean like almost like fidgeting or like struggling?
Cowering.
Cowering. All right, I knew
That's
it was
okay.
something along those
All right,
lines.
so yeah, it demonstrates how someone might quail in a frightening situation. The young recruit quailed at the sight of the enemy, visibly shrinking back in fear. Yeah, I don't know if I had ever heard it used as a verb, so I was like, oh, that's
I
interesting.
don't know
Yeah.
if that's an accurate, because it to me doesn't fit what a quail does or how a quail really is, because actually they're not the brightest of birds, you
Right,
know,
right.
and so a quail, you know, they will actually, you have to be careful when you keep quail too, you know, because they nothing can fit in through the enclosures where they are if you keep them, because they'll go right to the edge. If a raccoon was standing there,
Yeah.
they're so curious, they'll go right up to them.
Hey!
You know, and be like, so that they're not cowering in fear.
It probably has nothing
inaccurate.
to do with the name of the animal and
Yeah.
the definition of
Yeah.
the word.
That's probably it, Judy.
Sorry.
Yeah, Judy, really.
Quails
I have
are-
a little.
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Natural tick repellents.
Oh, yeah,
They,
I know.
they eat ticks.
No, my brother
The
used
more-
to my
more
brother
you
used to
know.
go quail shooting in the desert.
Oh.
They live right.
Oh.
Quail hunting.
They live in Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Well,
we
look
have a
at
quail in Long
this.
Island.
This whole word is got
About
a
quail.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little dancer. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Lunar New Year.
Oh
The
my
Year of the
gosh,
that's
Snake. It
true.
was on the first day was
Yeah.
January 29th. And I was reading a little bit about it and, you know, like what people do to celebrate and why. And they wear red and they decorate things in red. And before the New Year day, they clean everything in their house because that's supposed to get all the bad luck
Juju
out of your house. If you do it on New Year's Day, then you're getting rid of all your good luck that you're going to have for that year. And there was something I wanted, it was so interesting. Oh, because it's based on a myth, the whole thing with red. It's like this old myth. And it was a village, like a monster came into the village and he used to eat all the villages. And then, and then somebody said, let's see, I don't think I have his name. Because the color red is the lucky color. It symbolizes happiness, luck, and celebration. And it's the legend of Neon,
Yeah.
Nian. And the monster ate the people in the village. And then some old man came into the village, and he used to come every year, the monster, and he said, if you wear red and you know how they do fireworks and cause fire, it scares the monster away, and then the monster never came back.
Now,
They said loud noises, decorating in red, wearing red, and creating bright light. And then the monster
That's
didn't
kind
come.
of opposite wearing red when you're bullfighting, right? You're not supposed to have red when you're bullfighting.
Bullfighting, you use the red thing to attract the bull.
To attract the
Right.
Yeah, so it is the opposite.
Yeah.
But I thought I never heard of that myth before.
If we wear red and shoot off fireworks, would that get rid of the snake in the White House this year?
I posted something like that. And I said, "Oh, Happy Lunar New Year! It's the year of the snake, and we had one in the White House."
Let's all wear
But the
red
thing
and
is,
shoot
in
off
the year of the
fireworks.
snake, it actually the snake symbolizes wisdom. So
Oh, that doesn't.
yeah, so
That
that's the
doesn't-
opposite
that
of
doesn't align
the
up.
snake
Yeah.
in the White House too.
Right.
So anyway, I also
Oh, go ahead.
It's the Peggy Show today.
yes one.
Oh, that's what you're gonna say?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw you smacking your lips. I said, I guess she really wants wine.
I thought you were going to read something
No. So anyway, I have this wine, and I
love this.
attracted to it because of the label, because the label is
So pretty.
absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much detail
What's it
on
called
it.
again?
It's called Sixth Sense.
Okay.
And this is a California Syrah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so.
It got very good.
Wait, this is for
that's
Judy.
Judy's. Oh,
Well,
switch
it's gonna be-
glasses.
yeah, it's going to be mine now.
Just a little smell for
Because
me.
again,
Not to
with
smell.
That's good.
Judy
Okay.
is just drinking non-alcoholic beer.
Just drinking air.
Okay.
Get it in.
And Sixth Sense
this
is,
smells very
as I
nice.
said, a California Syrah.
This doesn't smell acidic.
No, it doesn't.
Ooh.
It got very good reviews. Okay, so I will read a little bit about it.
It's nice and dark.
Raspberries.
It's 2021,
Okay.
and it's the aromas are deep ruby. It's deep ruby in you,
Right.
and the aromas are layered of berry cobbler,
Ew.
plum, and cigar box.
Ooh.
Never heard of that one before.
Yeah,
I've heard
cigar
tobacco
box.
in the
That's
taste.
But just a cigar box.
Where they just throw, it's
Just
like Willy
the box.
Wonka. We throw things in.
Okay, and on the nose, fill the nose. Okay,
Smells
it's
delicious.
full-bodied, and it's got flavors of ripe
Vanilla.
raspberry,
Yeah.
black licorice, and tobacco.
Oh, okay.
Leads to a long, captivating finish.
It
Okay.
smells great.
Now,
I
let's.
would wear this as a perfume.
Happy Lunar New
Happy
Year.
Yes,
Lunar
happy
New Year. To
Lunar
the year of the
New Year,
snake.
the year of the snake.
It's supposed to be good adventures with the snake. I
Oh,
think. That's
good,
what they
good.
said.
Now, what year were you born in? Do you know?
The ox.
The ox. Well, how about you?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think we did.
I was the
And I
year
don't-
of the dragon. So.
That was that last year, the dragon? Or no?
Was it the? I thought it was the rat last year.
I don't know.
Okay, well anyway, let's
Yeah.
taste.
Mm.
It smells delicious.
Oh, it's very smooth.
Vicarious. Vicarious drinking. Yum, yum, yum.
Are we going to be with you when you have your first wine?
I don't
drinking?
know, because I'm not sure I'm going to do it right away.
Right,
you know, I'm
right,
going
right,
to
yeah.
see. But,
On your birthday, you should have a birthday drink.
well, that will be the year.
Right.
That,
Yeah,
if
that's what
started out
I mean.
my
Yeah,
birthday,
so you should
yeah.
have a birthday
We'll
drink.
see. We'll see how it goes. I think
Oh,
my
yeah.
birthday's on like a Wednesday or something, so I don't know about that.
Okay, well, we'll open up a bottle.
Yeah, I know. We'll celebrate for her.
We will see.
Okay, so percentage-wise, let's see.
Alcohol percentage.
All right, with the legs alone, I'm going to say, I'll say 13.
I'm gonna say 14.
And it's actually 15. Be careful.
No way.
Well, folks, let's see how this podcast goes.
Ah,
It's a little peppery too. It didn't mention
I love
that,
pepper.
but
Oh my
after
God.
aftertaste,
Love
it does have a long finish.
That,
And
yes.
now I'm getting that peppery
Yes.
taste.
you're
Oh my
saying
God,
all
you're
my
awesome.
buzzwords.
I know.
You're killing me.
It's delicious.
Oh my God.
I just felt like Natasha then. She would do something like that to me. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
I like it. I would.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 4.5.
Okay, but we gotta give a price point.
Oh
don't
yeah.
say.
No, I won't.
I don't know, $16.99.
I don't know, Peggy. Let me
I didn't
see.
taste it, so I don't have that
I'm
kind of
going
thing.
to say
Use your sixth sense.
$14.95.
It's $14.99.
Oh, you did? Well done.
In total wine, it was $14.99.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little different, you know,
Okay.
but it's around that price
Yeah,
point.
Okay.
good.
But I think it's a good wine
I'm gonna
for
look for that one
$14.99.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just for the label,
I love
Yeah.
the label.
The label, like if you put on your glasses, again a magnifying glass, there is so much detail in it. It's
That's
really
pretty
Yeah, it is
awesome.
It's very awesome.
No, I like that.
Good
There's
job on
books,
the
there's
wine.
books on a
I know,
bookshelf.
I
and-
love it. I would give it a 4.5.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Very
4.5.
Good job.
It's a nice
Nice.
wine for
Yeah,
that price
excellent.
point. So
Well done.
And as it happens, usually one of us does one thing when But
Peggy's gonna do the book.
Yeah,
we
they're
just-
making me do all the work this
No,
time.
I'm doing the topic. I'll be doing the topics, not all the work.
Okay, so anyway, well, I've been reading a lot of books lately because, I don't, because usually I used to watch a lot of news and I had to stop doing that because it's very bad for my soul.
Yeah.
So anyway, this book I actually read in December, and it was one of those books that I couldn't wait until, usually if I'm reading, it's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon after I do all my errands or whatever else I'm doing, 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I couldn't wait to get back to it.
Nice.
That's a great
it's like
sign of a
I've
book.
seen this book before in the bookstores.
Well, I found out that this book is actually very, very popular right now. When I bought it, I didn't know it. I thought it was going to be some unknown book. But then it turns out there were all these
That's
people
cool.
that said, oh my God, that book was so good. And I started reading about it everywhere.
That's so
So
cool.
it's called The Frozen River, and it's by Ariel Lawhon. And I think that she has other books. I'm not very prepared, so you have to forgive me. I've been very
I don't know,
distracted.
should we?
I've been
Should we have
distracted
to?
lately.
No, you don't
She
have to.
has. All right. She
There's an
also
executive
has
order
the
that tells
wife.
me I have to. Which who knows could come on at any
Yeah,
moment.
really.
Her other books are The Wife, The Maid, and The Mistress, Flight of Dreams, I Was Anastasia, Codename Helene, When We Had Wings. Oh, that's a good. I like that title. Yeah, I never heard of any of them, but I'm going to look into them because this was really an awesome story.
Okay.
And it turns out it was based on a real person. And there is actually a Pulitzer Prize winning biography of the main character in this book. I had no idea. Her name was Martha Ballard, and she was around. This story takes place in 1789. And Martha Ballard was a midwife and a healer. And it was in Maine in 1879 after the Revolutionary War. And this town that she lived in was on the Kennebec River in Maine. And her family owned like a sawmill. And in this town they produced a lot of lumber and they transported it on the river. But in the winter time, the river froze up and everything stopped in the town. So it was getting, the river this year, it was like one of the coldest years ever. And it was only in November, I think, and the river froze early. It froze when there was a boat in it.
Oh.
And they would, they got trapped in the ice and they had to try and free themselves from it. And while they were doing that, they discovered a body encased in ice in the river. And then Martha Ballard was called to, examine the body. They got the body out, they got the boat out, and it turns out that he was a very well-known person in the town. And very shortly after they found his body, nobody knew. They were saying that he just drowned, but she said he was murdered. So very shortly after, this woman, Rebecca Foster, admitted to Martha that she was raped, and she was raped by the guy who was dead and another man in the town who was like this big shot in the town. He was on ahead of the town somehow. I forgot his position. Sorry, I read this a month ago. My brain doesn't work. And so it's got a lot of things going on with it. It's all about, she really did keep a journal of all of her cases.
It looks like she was only 27 when she died.
No.
But that's what it says, no? On the cover?
Oh no, this is her diary that she kept from 1785 to 1812.
Gotcha. I thought that was
Yeah,
it.
no, she was
Okay.
she reached up around 80, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because there is like an epilogue to this. And she had children, and at the
Okay.
time, like, you had to marry off your daughters, and so anyway, it's got her travels being a midwife. And there is a doctor, a young doctor, who comes into town, and he doesn't know anything about birthing babies, and it ends up some of these women die. Like, she never lost a woman. you know, she was like, she knew really what she was doing. So it's about that.
That's
it's about this
interesting.
trial for the rape. It's about the revenge that these men in power are trying to, you know, get because, you know, they're being implicated in this. And it's about her family. It is really, I can't say
sounds
enough
so
about
good.
it. It is so, it just flows. She's a wonderful writer. It's a great story.
It's a movie coming.
Yes, exactly. And it's historical. It
I love
really,
it.
of course,
Again,
is
it's like
novelized.
Right.
Is that the fictionalized?
Sure, let's
You know,
make it.
because there are a lot of things that weren't in her diary from 1785 to 1812.
Wow.
But it was, it's a really great story. I didn't finish this. I just got up to the juicy part. Mrs. Foster has sworn a rape on a number of men.
Wow.
And it was so disturbing to read about the rape and, you know, how they did it, and it was just disgusting.
How old was the woman that they raped?
She was, you know, maybe 30s, in her early 30s, or she was married. Her husband was away. Her husband was the minister. It's just the misogyny right from the birth of our nation, and has
Yeah.
never gone away.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So really, but I highly recommend it. The Frozen River, Ariel Lawhon, and then if you like nonfiction, I
Yeah.
know Judy will like this one.
I
I'll
will,
lend it
when
to
you're
you.
done.
I'm not even gonna finish it
Oh.
because I have too many other books I have to get to.
Yeah.
So I'll lend it to you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
And it's
thank
called
you.
A Midwife's Tale, and it's the winner of the Pulitzer Prize.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's very
Thank you,
cool.
Peg.
You're
I
welcome.
look forward to this.
Okay, Sherlock Leaf.
It reminds me of that when I did the book Madame Ristel, and she was the New York City abortion's most hated woman in
Right,
America.
yeah, uh-huh.
She also never lost a patient because
Right.
women know how to take
That's
care
right.
of
Yep.
women.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
And the doctors there were incompetent
Yeah,
in
yeah.
when they started
And they
doing
had
that.
such
And I
hubris. Hubris.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
they
Like,
and this one Dr. Page did. It was like he, you know, looked down on her, but she knew her stuff.
Yeah.
And then people started not trusting her. Like one of the women that he killed, you know, her mother said, no, let the doctor come instead of Martha, and she ended up dying.
Yeah.
well,
It was a
it's
breech
like-
birth.
it's
He didn't know what to do.
Because women have to. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, so women have to start supporting each other
I know.
and not
Buckle.
thinking men are always know what's better
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's time and time again. You know, for some reason, an episode of Golden Girls comes to mind when, I forget the character's name, Dorothy, when she was going through menopause, and oh wait, no, she had chronic. What is that? Chronic health. I forget the chronic something. Hey guys, you're getting very frisky. Anyway, she kept going to all these doctors, all men, and they kept telling her it was nothing. Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's all in your head. It's nothing. And the whole episode, and then it got to the point where she went to somebody, and I don't know if it was a male or female doctor, but she ended up finding out she really did have this medical issue. And she, you know, they made her feel like she was a piece of crap. Like she was like, but I really do feel tired all the time. Chronic
Yeah.
fatigue
Fatigue
syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, chronic
And
fatigue.
so she was like, I really, you know, and she, and the ending is she saw the doctor in a restaurant. She was in the same restaurant, and she kind of had her, you know, way with him, like telling him off, and you know, his wife was like, "You did that?" Anyway, but yeah, it just goes to show you, time and time again, like you said, we have to be there for advocate for ourselves, for
We have to support ourselves and have faith in our own sex.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we can take care of ourselves. We've done it for a long time. This
Yeah.
book shows, you know, the success that women have had, the capabilities of women.
Yeah.
We have to support
Bonnie.
ourselves.
No.
And you know, similar, you know, and I know this is it touched a little bit on it, but I was, like you ladies, I was really disappointed in the confirmation hearings of Pete Hegseth,
Oh.
in particular by Joni Hurst. Her vote, this is an example, she got to the position she had by being a military, you know,
Oh, Joni Ernst?
Joni Ernst, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, she was, you know, she did combat military. She took that experience, she did it capable, she did it well, and yet she used her vote to prevent other people, to support a person who does not
Yeah.
I know.
support giving women the same opportunities that she had.
Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed in her and the women that that especially because it was a woman. It's disappointing that men voted for him too, but mostly her.
I know.
Yeah.
Because you should be supporting other women.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah. But
And beside all of the things that he did, and he is a misogynist, just the point that he was not qualified
right.
to have
Exactly.
this job.
But that doesn't matter. None of them are
Because
qualified.
he's important. He's got the mail, and he's white,
Yep.
and he's Fox News,
Mm-hmm.
and he's sold a soul to Trump.
Yeah.
So that's all you need.
And he's
Yeah.
got the pulpit because he was a commentator, or he was an anchor on Fox News, or
Or
a
an
commentator.
Right. But it's really important to have women in positions of power in the military. And a lot of times, if you don't get combat experience, you can't get those promotions that lead to
Exactly.
positions of power. And, he won't ever come out and say, no, women can't be in the military. I noticed he finally came and said combat, but he said ground combat. Do you know that means no pilots?
Yep.
Yeah.
And where and so forth. I don't think he'll stick by ground combat. I have no doubt he'll go back.
Yeah.
But he thinks they could go for the secretarial, I'm sure, administrative stuff. But that
Oh,
means
yeah.
they're not going to be elevated to positions of power. And shame on the women who voted for him
Yeah.
to help him.
It's
support
going
that.
back to like the 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s,
Oh,
when
yeah.
women could be
Yeah.
waxed and waves, and they did administrative work and nursing work, and
It reminds me of something I was going to suggest to the two of you. I probably shouldn't say it on camera, but I'm going to.
Go ahead.
That we should all dress like June Cleaver or something.
Donna Reed.
For one of our
I thought you were going to say the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah,
that's
well,
what we're
that too. But I was like, I'll just go back in time and but it's too much work. I don't have anything. Anyway, so it's my turn for the topic.
Yes.
And my topic is, because we're coming up to our 100th episode, I'd like to revisit, or talk about the podcast, our podcast.
Oh, okay.
And get the two of you, first of all, here are the questions, and I'm going to give you all the questions at once, just for you to think about. Your overall feeling about our podcast. Are you surprised that we're still doing it? That kind of thing. Do you still like our name on the podcast? What do you find most challenging? What do you find most rewarding? How does Peggy and Carol feel when Judy decided to give up drinking? Tasting wine for the year. What topics do you recall that you've enjoyed? Or topics, whatever, any subjects, books? And do you remember all the special guests we've had? And what, if anything, would you like to change about the podcast? So these are things that I thought, okay, we're going to be coming up to our 100th. Peggy, what's your overall feeling of our podcast?
I love our podcast. I think that we do a good job, and we're very genuine.
Authentic.
Authentic, yes, we are very authentic. It's not professional
No.
at all. We're totally unedited. Actually, Riley asked me once, she goes, Grandma, don't you edit? And I said, no, I don't edit.
No,
I just go home and I put it on Rush in Adobe and put it together, render it together.
And hope that it recorded.
There's been times when I render it and I go to listen to it and there's no sound.
Our mouths are moving, but you don't hear us
because the microphone wasn't plugged in, and
This happens.
but there's been a couple of snafus, but I enjoy it, and it has made me learn about things, even if I knew about them. Like now I know more about it, and I like to research anyway.
Yes, she
And,
goes into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, sometimes I really do go into the rabbit hole. I have 5 pages of my topic, and I could do one of them. So, but yeah, I like it.
What about you?
Yeah, I think so too. I like it as well. I think we're all do a good job. All of us show up.
I'm here.
Well, I mean, not just show
I
up
live here.
physically. We show up. I don't think we've really been unprepared. We've always had material.
Yeah,
To talk
I think
about.
for me, there's been a couple of times I've just felt not drained, but just, I don't know, depressed or something. And I was just, I sort of showed up, but you guys ran with it and you did a great job. And I can't remember what it was, but
Probably
there
around
was-
election time.
that could be. But
No, but I think it was a good way for us to channel a lot of our feelings and do something with it in an authentic
Yeah,
way.
speak our mind.
Right, because
It's
there's a lot on
refreshing.
the internet, a lot on our TV that I particularly don't find authentic.
Oh no, it's not authentic at all. Half
And
the
I
things.
think that was part of why I wanted to be a part of this, was to just say, you know what, whatever happens, I could be long dead, or whatever. It's out in the universe, whether YouTube exists or not.
Right.
Nothing is ever really lost if you put it out there,
Right.
but that somewhere, sometime, we believed and spoke up in a
That's
certain
right.
way.
This was actually Judy's idea.
I was just going to say that,
It
and
was-
Peggy was going to stay behind the
I said,
camera.
well, I don't know.
We never thought you would go. I remember concocting the idea with you, and we were like, Peggy's not going to
she's
go for
not
that.
And I said, I will be the camera person, but I'm not being on the podcast.
And now we can't shut her off. I'm joking.
No, she does. I mean, you both do such
No.
a great job with the topics, and I just, it's very interesting. It's just, and you're right, it does challenge you to want to do more. And
Oh
check
yeah,
into
yeah.
more.
It's great to learn about, especially like the history things.
Yeah,
They're the
you
ones
do a really good
that
job.
I really.
And we found out that Peggy's in love with Benjamin Franklin.
Yes, I've always been since I'm a kid. I always admired him greatly. I didn't find him sexually attractive though, but
right, okay.
but I would like to hang out with him. I think that we could have been friends. He was an interesting person.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
So, do you still like our name?
Yes, I do like our name. I think our name describes us accurately. I think, and I don't care what everybody else thinks. There's a whole bunch of wildflowers, whatever. I think it's us.
Yeah.
That's who we are. We're not polished. We're not any,
No.
we're not roses. We're not in the nail salons every week, obviously. Getting sometimes. Well, you are.
Not every week, trust me, you see it.
But it's who we are. We're just scattering our seeds of truth and feeling.
Very well said,
Yeah.
Judy.
Oh, okay.
Very
thank
well
you.
said.
Thank
So
you.
now we're not going to change the
So
name.
now-
Now you have to keep it.
Because I wasn't always for Wildflowers. I like books, booze, and banter.
Yes.
But with the Wildflowers, like Judy said, then we went on and said, oh my God, there's so many podcasts
Yeah, we
But
did.
when
with
I do,
Wildflowers.
but when I do the hashtag, I always do our whole name.
Books,
so
booze,
there's-
yeah.
so
Which
there's-
is catchy.
Yeah.
Books, booze, and banter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do like
So-
that.
Do you like it?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay.
So, all right, back to you. What do you find most challenging?
Sometimes I'm a little pressed for time, and I say, oh my God, it's my turn to have the topic. What am I going to talk about?
Well, now the thing is that with number one, it's quite easy to always have a wine to pick,
Yeah.
and you do a lot of reading, so you always have
yep.
a book. But the topic
The
is
topic is like you want to make it interesting. Sometimes I don't want it to be anything dark, and like we need to lighten up our lives too.
right.
And sometimes it's difficult for me. Like it's like 2 days before I say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It actually happened with the last one. I can't even remember what it was, but I remember saying.
January 22nd.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I did.
The
And
day.
finally, I said, I don't know
Good
what
memory.
to do.
Yeah.
It was in January, and I said, let me pick things that happened on this day.
Right.
It was January 11th, I think, in history. So sometimes we're grabbing at straws because we are, all three of us, busy.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say it, and then I'll ask
no,
you.
you.
The one that I find most challenging, my dogs. The noises are to their paws.
They're being very good
and
looking.
they're being very good right
Oh,
now.
they're
And I'm actually dog sitting for another dog named Bonnie right now. She's a sweetheart,
She's
but
adorable.
yeah, I can tell that Sherlock is like he's becoming a different dog when she's around now. Like I
Yeah.
never saw him licking her ears before.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dogs with their barking, that just bothers me.
I think that's
'Cause-
his move now. He kisses the ears.
I know. So my little dog. So Judy, what do you find challenging?
I think it changes, and a lot of it has to do with time. I mean, there was a period of time when I was able to read a lot of books and had them in the back, but the one that I did last time, The Street Gang, that's it. I don't have another book for the
Yeah.
next, so I'm like,
I think I have one more.
yeah, I'm pressed for, but other times it'll be the topic, I might run a little dry, like, what am I going to do? But I think, but now, and again, because it changes with what's going on.
Right,
Like right now,
right.
there's a lot of things going on in my brain that
Yeah.
I know I could talk about.
Right,
the
yeah,
topic.
sure. Right.
But I might be over the next couple months pressing for some books if I don't get them done in time.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just really busy, so I'm not reading as much
Right.
as I've been able to. If I'm able to do like 10 pages at night without falling asleep
Yeah.
dead, tired,
Right.
then it's a good night.
Yeah.
So anyway, it changes.
Yeah.
And I think the rewarding question, we kind of answered that already, like our overall feelings, what do we find rewarding about this? Is there anything that you didn't share that you found rewarding? I mean, we're researching, we're getting together.
Yeah.
The getting together for
Yeah.
me part is
Yeah,
with
that
you, like,
is, that's rewarding
Yeah.
because we don't, the three of us, usually the only time the three of us are together
Yeah.
For this.
is for
It's
the
for
podcast.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, Judy has, 2 teenagers at home and a husband and, Carol and
job
I,
for now.
We're single. We go out and
single.
about.
Yeah, so we spend more time together. We have more free time.
Well, if the president
available.
gets his way, I may have more free time.
Yeah,
because there-
exactly.
there goes my job. So
I know, but you won't have any money to go out and have fun.
But this doesn't cost anything, so there we are.
So this next
So.
question is for Peggy and me.
Go ahead. I'd like to hear this.
How do you feel about Judy not her giving up drinking alcohol?
It didn't bother me. I was surprised that she wasn't just doing it for, a month or so.
Yeah, yes.
But no, it doesn't bother me. I give you kudos to
Yeah,
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think, like you challenged yourself and you have really met that challenge.
Well,
and
we don't really
Yeah.
know. I mean, she
yeah,
tells us.
she's an honest woman.
Yeah, I would tell you, I'm authentic in that too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
You
This
definitely.
is still that athletic, non-alcohol beer. Very
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
That's
delicious.
great. I think
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I feel the same way with you. I think.
Yeah, I think it's
At first,
good.
I was just like, okay, how are we gonna rate the wine? I'm like, that's not a big deal.
No,
It's like,
it isn't a
The
big
rate,
deal.
I don't think anybody's hinging on our rating.
Yeah.
For what
I know.
Judy thinks of this wine.
I
Oh
know.
no.
no, exactly. Okay. Are there any topics that was covered since we've started that you recall that you thought was stupid or you liked it, or not even your own necessarily, but anything that sticks out to you?
I liked the one of the first ones that I did when we did words.
Oh yes, that was fun.
found that so eye-opening
That
with
was
the words
fun.
and the origins of words and words, the longest word in the world,
Yeah,
and
that was interesting.
that was
That was fun.
interesting.
That was fun.
And I liked. Of course, I'm only recalling the ones that I did because
You studied so hard. She studied so hard.
I liked the one, and this was also in the first year, about Halloween and all the different customs around the world and the origins of it. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
And
Now I'm trying to remember one of the last ones you did. I thought was like that. At first, I didn't think it was going to be that interesting, and I can't remember. But I remember
have
I
it
liked
written
it.
down because I don't even remember what I did last
I
week.
never remember. I have my book all the time.
I know, and I have to update these, and I have to write descriptions, and then
No,
I
I
forget.
didn't write it down.
But no, I think the different topics that you both do are just so interesting. I find for myself sometimes I'm just reading my notes instead of sharing really expressing it in a different way, and I'm like, okay, I got to get better at that because I just don't have time because I'm writing
Yeah.
what I'm working on. But yeah.
I know what I wrote. Also, it was Letters to a Stranger.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that-
very interesting.
That was a book,
And I
yeah.
thought of so many other things after it when you asked
See,
me.
that's what
Yeah.
happens.
And I said, oh, I should have talked about the man in the airport when I was 19 and I was stranded in Tokyo Airport who
Yes,
helped
yes.
me.
Yeah.
So I don't know who he was. That was
But-
a very interesting
Yeah,
one.
and it is funny because then afterwards, just because we're off the camera, we think about
Yeah,
these
we
things.
do,
and
yeah.
like, oh yeah, that Peggy
Yeah.
talked about that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Peggy's gonna go off of Benjamin Franklin. Oh no,
I know.
always
Then
talk
I went
about
to
that.
Philly and I went to the Benjamin Franklin Museum and I took a selfie with him and I sent it to her. And I was like, I'm
That's
with
so
your
funny.
boyfriend.
Okay.
I like the family secret ones you did. That was interesting.
Oh, right.
We learned a lot of
Yeah,
family
yeah,
secrets.
yeah.
That one I
And
thought
the
was
Nellie Bly one I liked because I did that after you did the one about the woman in the madhouse.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the woman who could not be silenced.
Right, right.
Excellent
definitely.
book.
And then I did one on Nellie Bly, and she was assigned to that.
Right.
So
right.
that she was the first
Yeah.
woman journalist. Yeah.
I think one of the earlier ones we did, just getting to know us a little better. I like when we talked about our bucket lists.
Oh,
yeah, that
Remember?
was, yeah.
And then,
yeah.
and I thought that was just really cool because everybody has things that they want to do.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
yeah.
what about, what
We
about
should
us?
revisit that because your bucket list changes. You
It
take
does.
things off your bucket list, you put them on.
Or you complete things
Right,
and then you
yeah,
add something
exactly.
else in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No, that's great. That's great. Do you remember all the special guests we've had?
Well, I remember
Probably-
Mickey.
Yes, Mickey the psychic, and
Oh yes, that was a fun one.
yeah, that
we
was-
had Kathy. We had Kathy.
Yeah,
we had
Kathy, we had
Kathy
Lisa.
Flooring.
Heidi.
Heidi for the book, the dogs.
We
let's
had
see.
Stephanie Fitzgerald.
Was she with
Fitzpatrick.
baking?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Did she
right.
do the cookies?
Yes,
yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah,
We
that's
had
right.
Yeah, we did her.
Yeah, that was
had her.
fun. We have, and we're gonna.
We had the book. What's
Oh,
his name?
oh
with
yeah,
the big,
Steve.
Steve.
Oh,
Oliver.
Steve, yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we've had a few
Yeah.
guests that were
Yeah, we have
interesting.
to have another guest soon
Yeah, well, we
coming up.
did tell Jennifer from the Syosset Library we were going to have her. Was it Jennifer?
Oh,
No.
Jen Jordan,
Jen,
yes.
Jen.
Yeah, Jen Jordan, and we should do, how about Ellen Meister? Was she interested?
She might.
Oh,
Yeah, she might. I went.
you two could talk about writing, and,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so those were fun. And all right, so is there anything that you would like to see different, change that we've done?
The music in the
We were
beginning.
just talking
Yeah,
about it.
Peggy and we had this debate. Peggy and I are not crazy about the open music. I think it's too long. My girls don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Tell us what you think.
I think that we should just start without an intro.
Yeah.
I don't think that we need that music with all the photos, with our names.
Yeah.
We introduce ourselves
Exactly.
when we get on the camera.
Maybe if
and
we
I
become-
say
What do you
dispense of it.
I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe
a fan
if
of
we
it.
get more professional one day, somebody wants to do music. But right now it's just us.
Yeah.
And it's.
Yeah.
I don't think we need the music.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Well, we'll see.
What-
We'll see. We did the podcast before this one. We did it without music, and we
Yeah.
started with a poem,
Yeah.
Right.
which I like. Let's
I
see.
did like that.
Let's
But we
see.
gotta see how that transfers.
Yeah,
so.
let's see if there's a difference in viewership on it.
Yeah.
To
We
be
got
honest,
five.
I know, we got five.
Everyone.
But I like starting with a poem. Can we start with a poem, maybe?
I love poems.
Me
I have
too.
several books of poetry.
And maybe that could be our thing, because I love poetry. And
Me
I
too.
have a whole section on poetry that I could go for.
Wildflowers Podcast, books, booze, and poetry.
Books, booze, and banter. and
Well,
poems.
poetry is covered by the book part.
Yeah, yes. And we could open with
Yeah.
a book, but it
Yeah.
just be different.
Something else in the beginning, because we were afraid that we weren't going to have enough topics, and this
Oh, the
basket
basket.
has been waiting, and every week, or not every week, but every time we do a podcast, and I'm like, we have all these questions.
Can we do one?
Sure can. Who wants
I
to
do pick it.
All right, thank you. I love surprises.
She does. She does.
Okay.
You might not like this one. Who
Let's
knows?
see. What 3 people, living or dead, would you like to have for a dinner party?
Oh. Well, we go ahead, Peggy.
Benjamin Franklin. Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
And Betty Davis.
Betty
Oh
Davis.
my God! Don't critique
But she's
her.
very smart.
I love Betty
She's
Davis.
very smart. I don't blame you for
She
that.
has
That's a
good
tough one.
eyes. Betty Davis eyes.
I
Yes,
did not say that.
she did.
All right, go ahead.
Now your turn.
No, you go
Oh
because
God,
I can't.
I think you asked us this question one
Yeah,
time.
I think that you did too.
Well, it was in the basket, so well, maybe
All
that
right.
was something other.
Oh, maybe yeah. That was probably a topic that
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna. I remember what I said. I think I'm gonna just stick with it because I want to be consistent. They're all living because I just think they're interesting, and I just want to have fun at dinner. So I
Yeah.
want to have. I think I said Adam Duritz from Counting Crows because I love his brain, I love his music, and I'd love to like talk about it with it, and just
Yeah.
talk about his influences and stuff. I think Melissa Gilbert I would probably have on there.
Well, she was interesting. She was interesting.
And then someone really funny, like I'd either like Adam Sandler or Drew Barrymore. Just someone like lighthearted and but also very smart people too. That are very good conversationalists.
Yeah.
So I think that would be good.
How about you?
I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking like,
Just what's popping in your head, that's what I said.
Sting,
It just popped.
but I think I'd be disappointed in who he is in real life. But
Why?
Sting, he comes across as a lot of hubris, very arrogant.
Hubris.
I want women. Not that not that there's anything wrong with it. Gloria Steinem.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would enjoy listening to her. Michelle Obama.
Oh, she's a good one. I would love
Yes.
that. Because she seems, Gloria Steinem to me seems like it would be too
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have fun. Michelle Obama, you're going to have fun
You're
with
gonna
her.
have fun with Michelle
And she's
Obama.
really, really smart.
And
Michelle-
she didn't show up at.
Coming to dinner with me? Come on. Pick one, Peggy.
Okay, pick one. But I want to say something first about Sting.
Go ahead.
He was the guest host, coach on...
Oh, I know. I watched him.
He
I
was
know.
so
I
nice.
was finished that.
He's-
I what? Guest host
On
of
The
what?
Voice.
On The Voice.
Oh, he was? Okay.
And he was...
He was awesome.
He was awesome. He was
Yeah.
so down to
Yeah.
earth and
Alright.
supportive.
I was very surprised. I was very
that's
surprised.
just an
There you
answer to you.
There we go.
Now you
Okay.
can have dinner with him. That's all you needed.
We're having
Okay.
dinner.
What is your favorite meal?
Oh,
You know, it changes for me, but go ahead.
not food. Like I love pie. Like that.
No,
like,
meal.
oh,
Meal.
Oh, I
You
just
can
wanted to
have
throw that out there in
chicken
case anyone
pot
didn't
pie.
know.
Yeah, really.
What was? Oh, I love beef stew.
I
Oh,
do
okay.
too.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
What's
mom
your
makes
favorite?
the best beef stew.
No, I do.
Gotta be
No.
some kind of fish or seafood. I like seafood pasta.
Yeah, you do like that.
Yeah, you
a
get
lot
that
of
a
times
lot.
you order that.
We do
Yeah.
order that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Pot roast and mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah. That's good too.
It's like beef stew.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
No,
It's
I
delicious.
agree.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes with gravy.
Oh my god, that pot roast gravy with the carrots and the onions and the
Oh,
celery in it is like the
You're
best.
making me
I
hungry.
know, me too. I'm actually drooling a little.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick one and then that'll be it.
No, I like this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know, but
Just-
okay.
We'll do another round.
Yes.
Oh, all right. What's a comfort food that you enjoy that you would never serve guests?
They would
Oh.
never serve guests.
A comfort?
A comfort
Oh,
that you would
I
never
would-
serve guests.
A comfort food for me would be like leftover mashed potatoes with, I take mozzarella cheese and I put it on top and then I microwave it.
Oh,
And then it's
that's,
really
yeah,
good.
don't ever serve that to me, please. That's kind of weird.
No, no, but that's
I love
that's-
mozzarella cheese and I love.
But that's a good example.
It's
delicious.
So you would never serve it,
Yeah.
but that's what
No.
you enjoy. How about you?
Don't knock it until you try
I
it.
would never
Don't
serve.
yuck or yum.
I mean, I haven't even made it for myself in a long time, but I love homemade beefaroni.
Oh, okay.
I always
Jason's
loved
made
it.
that.
I used to make it when the kids were little. My mother used to make it. And I never make it anymore because it's this big pot of pasta and I live
Right,
by
right.
myself.
Now,
But
do
if
you-
I
what
was
kind of-
having
do you use like the
elbows.
Yeah.
Elbow pie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, number one, speaking of the elbow pasta, do you know that when I grew up, I did not know that there was other kinds of pasta other than elbow, because that's the only thing my mom ever bought.
Oh, really?
I am not kidding you.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until, like, you go to the grocery store, ziti. What's this?
What's this thing called?
ziti? Seriously, my mom would make macaroni and cheese, elbow. I mean,
No spaghetti?
Oh no, we did have spaghetti.
Oh,
we did have
okay.
spaghetti. I don't
Yeah.
like the thick spaghetti. I like angel
The thin.
hair. Okay, for me, comfort food. You two are gonna yuck this yum, but it's a comfort food. My kids, even to this day, like it when they're after they've been sick or whatever. They're starting to feel better. You ready? White rice with milk and butter, with a side of a peanut butter on bread, and I dip it in.
That's really disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
That
so
really
good.
is.
That would make
It's
me
so-
sick.
Yeah.
I told
I'll
you-
eat the rice with
I
the butter,
told
not
you.
the milk.
I told you not to yuck my yum.
I'm yucking it because it's
Oh,
disgusting.
it's yuck.
You
Sorry.
haven't tried. It's cereal.
No, that's
it's like a cereal.
that's peasant food. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's comfort food.
It's peasant food.
Did you hear this?
Peasant.
They're yucking my yum.
I'm moving on. I'm doing
Okay, move on. Yeah, that was pretty
yeah,
bad.
that was
God,
interesting.
These are my friends.
Maybe.
Yeah. Not if you service that.
True.
Oh, and I got two. Let me throw one back. Okay. So, what do you consider one of life's biggest mysteries?
Ooh.
Oh, I
That's
have
a
to
deep
say
one.
the God. That, I mean, really, it's very unlikely, but it's a mystery, and I think that's life's biggest mystery.
Oh,
Is the existence of God.
Well, for me, along that line, the afterlife. Like,
Well, the
what
same-
is
yeah,
what
yeah.
is the afterlife? Like, where do we go? Do we just go in the ground, or are we, go to ashes? Or is there something beyond this? That's for me.
Yeah.
Well, obviously those, but we're gonna do because there's a lot of different mysteries. For me, is human nature, in that how are do we
Oh,
keep repeating certain things and mistakes and we have great love, we're capable of great love, we're capable of great evil, but how is that compatible? How does that make sense?
yeah.
And we, and I found myself thinking about that again after this latest election, of course.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that to know that we are in a minority now of people who think this way.
Yeah.
It's very concerning.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I understand human.
Yeah, the human nature.
Human heart.
Maybe next podcast, because right now I'm reading Meditations by Marcus or
Oh really?
Aurelius.
Oh, I love that. I read that.
It's all about being stoic, and I'm learning about the logos, and it's kind of confusing but fascinating too, and it's about
It's a good read.
Yeah, it's weird. So next Wednesday, Steve Israel, he has this thing with the Gold Coast Forum,
mentioned this,
and
yeah.
he's doing these lectures on meditations about stoicism.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're studying this time is meditation. So it should be interesting. Okay, I
do
guess
it
we
and
have to end soon. I know.
Yeah, I'll do the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What advice would you give your 14-year-old self?
Ooh, I like that one.
Oh boy.
I would say don't get the perm.
That's so cool.
Oh my goodness. When I was 14, I wasn't like a bad teenager. I would say, because I never went to college, and when I was younger, I kind of blamed it on my parents because I did want to go to college. And my mother, who denied it when I was an adult and I brought it up to her, she said that she would never have said that. She said girls don't have to go to college. You just get married. And then I told her that when I was an adult. She goes, I would never, ever have told you that. I said, today you wouldn't. You're a different person.
Right.
But back then, you did.
Yeah.
And I would say I shouldn't have blamed it on my parents because I could have gone anyway.
Right.
But then that made me lazy, and I said I don't want to work and go to school, even though both of my kids did that.
Right.
And I would say just no matter what you have to do, I should have gone to college. I would have enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, you would have.
And I would have learned a lot more, and it probably would have changed my life totally, which would mean that maybe I wouldn't have Jessica and Samantha,
Right,
so I don't want to
right.
change that part.
Yeah.
We never
So-
would have met you.
Yeah, I know.
Did you want to say your perm? Is that
Oh yeah, perm, definitely. I should not have gotten that perm. There's no way.
I had a perm at one point too, but I wasn't 14. I was like 30.
No, I had it at, no.
14 was a very hard time for me. I remember crying a lot, being very depressed and very unhappy and very miserable. And so I guess I would tell myself, it's going to get better and you're not going to be stuck here. Here being a very rural area. And it's okay to be weird because I was told that I was weird and it was like such a bad thing. I'm grateful that I was weird compared to a lot of
Yeah.
people that I knew. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was like so.
That's
All
a
right,
good
so
one.
Yeah.
one last one
Yeah.
and then that's it. All right. What one movie do you like to watch repeatedly?
Elf.
Okay.
You do, yeah.
Elf is great.
Okay.
Now Voyager.
Well,
You go. I'm still thinking. I don't know.
repeatedly, if it's on
Yeah.
TV, I usually stop and watch it. The Holiday is one at holiday
yeah,
time.
that's a good one.
What else do I like to watch? Well, It's a Wonderful Life every year, but I didn't watch it this last year. I just mentally couldn't watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Another
did
one
watch
I
it.
watch all the time is Jurassic Park. I just
Oh
love
yeah, she
Jurassic
loves
Park.
she loves
And I
those
love
guys.
Jaws too.
I like the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland. I actually like all the
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderlands because I
Yeah.
am such an Alice in
I like the
Wonderland.
animated
The
Disney
animated
one. That
one is
was
my
so
favorite.
well done.
That
yeah.
it still is my favorite.
I'm
And,
gonna-
and
Yeah.
Mary Poppins. I
Yeah.
do. I could watch that over and over again.
Yeah, I like Mary Poppins, but the scene with the big dance and Dick Van Dyke dancing when they're on the
the
sidewalk.
Oh,
no,
yes, yes.
it's too long.
Yeah, that is-
And I
you're
don't say
right.
stop. It's too long.
Yeah, that is too long, but
So.
it's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Well,
Yeah.
we got some
Oh, well.
of these done. We got some.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience. and
Yes,
watching
thank
us.
you for watching.
And let us know. Do you like the opening? Because these two are, railroading me.
We need to cut it or short.
guys.
I know you like. We can bring it back if
No,
we get a big outrage.
No. The crowds will complain. Bye,
Bye everybody. See you later.